Stand up for the earth. Come on, get up, stand up. Fight for all you're worth. Fight for all, come on, Jay. Stand up for the earth. Come on, get up, stand up. Fight for all you're worth. Come on and help us get up, stand up.
We're popping bottles tonight. Thanks so much, everyone who came out. That's all I got.
Chevron started this trying to silence me. They failed. Okay. They tried to demonize me. I don't think they succeeded. I think they failed. And you know what's crazy is they tried to isolate me so everyone would feel demoralized about doing this work, and the opposite occurred. The opposite occurred. You know, people say, would you do it over again if you knew this would happen? I mean, who the hell could imagine this kind of thing happening? Okay? Who the heck, when you calculate out, you know, getting involved in a case, I think as a lawyer, you're going to get locked up? Okay? That can't happen. We must all work together to ensure that this never happens again. And not only that it never happens again, that this bogus criminal contempt conviction that put me upstairs for almost 3 years gets erased by a president who needs to walk the walk on climate, okay? We cannot let President Biden make all these fancy campaign promises about climate and then allow massive drilling on public lands and allow a human rights lawyer who's a frontline defender to be locked up in his own country. We can't let that happen. It's called the Amazon Chernobyl. You know, for those who don't know, Chevron deliberately, through its predecessor company, Texaco, deliberately, they made this decision to dump billions of gallons of cancer-causing toxic oil waste into rivers and streams that the indigenous peoples had used for millennia for their drinking water, for their bathing, and for their fishing. That's the fundamental, in my opinion, environmental crime that this company committed.
People died, people continue to suffer, and pollution is still a major issue. And the work that Stephen does, the work that Chris Smalls has done, they are heroes because they continue to inspire the next generation of a movement that holds these big corporations accountable.
I just want to say we're going to make a lot of billionaires nervous today.
Isn't it incredible? The guys like taking down Amazon, and like I've been fighting over the Amazon. I mean, there's something going on there. I don't know what it is. I got to think about that.
Stephen Donziger. He is someone I can look up to because he cares about the planet, indigenous people, and what is right. He never gives up, and I won't either. This past Friday on Earth Day, I was leading the climate strike, and I brought in a bag full of climate protest signs to share with anyone who needed one. I also brought the banner I made that says Chevron poisons kids. But when I pulled it out in front of the head of my school, she got upset and told me I had to put it away. I put it away. Later, I told her that it was true that Chevron poisons kids with their massive oil spills around the world.
Thank you, Avery, for that great leadership. You're amazing, amazing. Never seen.
It even gets bigger than what's happening in Ecuador. It's what they've done to our courts. America has been built on a foundation that we rule by law, not by people and corporations. This company is destroying the very foundation that America was built on.
The reality is this exposes that our system is anomalous. That is, it is not what it purports to be, and that the only person who suffered from this outrageous eco-crime are the indigenous people in Amazon and their advocates. This man is a hero. I'd like to do hurrah here. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah!
This story shines a light in all the global stories that Chevron is a crime of in 31 countries. Now not just in Ecuador, where people and babies are still dying from cancer. And by the way, Chevron is still profiting from the Amazon forest. 13% of the crude oil from the Amazon forest is still being profited by Chevron.
We also have to remember that Stephen Donziger was locked up because his crime was going after Chevron and successfully suing them for poisoning indigenous people in Ecuador and their water, causing birth defects, cancer, death, and environmental destruction. And the only people who have paid for that, despite this judgment, the only people who have paid for that are people who have died, who have gotten cancer, who have been persecuted and prosecuted, like Stephen Donziger. And Stephen is the first one to tell you that his case pales in comparison to the losses that the people of Ecuador have gone through, and we need to remember that.
We are taught to celebrate law firms like Gibson Dunn and many others that serve as the indispensable right hand of the rich and powerful in this country, that are aiding and abetting corporate crimes against humanity, against indigenous communities, against the future of life on this planet. And so to see a different model for what it can mean to be a lawyer, to see attorneys like Stephen who are striving to use the tools of our legal system to fight with and for frontline communities and to do battle with corporate tyrants, that can make a huge difference. By elevating a role model for us to look up to and emulate, Chevron's leaders may have done just the opposite. They may have inspired all of us and a generation of future lawyers to follow Stephen in working to build a movement so powerful.